Delta State government says it is leveraging on its unique geographical assets and aquatic wealth to chart an inclusive and sustainable blue economy with strategic focus on rural infrastructure and transport integration. The State Commissioner for Works, Rural and Public Information, Charles Aniago, outlines the state's transformational blueprint in Asaba at a ministerial joint briefing with key ministries, departments, agencies, and members of the Senior Executive Course 47 of the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, NIPSS, led by retired DIG Adeleye Oyebade. The session themed Blue Economy and Sustainable Development in Nigeria issues, challenges and opportunities, highlighted Delta State's role as a national pace setters in harnessing inland and coastal water resources to drive economic growth, environmental sustainability, and social inclusion. Aniago, who was in the company of the Commissioner for Transport, Honorio Delgofore, Commissioner for Environment, Ejiro Jamani, and Commissioner for Oil and Gas, Peter Uviejetobo, and other top government dignitaries, functionaries, described Delta's extensive rivers network of over 500 kilometers of navigable waterways and Atlantic coastal line as a strategic advantage that remains underutilized. According to Aniago, the blue economy goes beyond traditional sectors like fisheries and tourism. It is a framework for building climate resilience, reducing poverty, and fostering inclusive economic participation.
Once they visit like this, and they are able to also conduct some form of study tour, that's what it is, study tour of what you are doing. As they are engaging in that study tour, they are also able to tell you the other areas they have gone to, what they saw. So you too benefit from what they saw in those areas and see how you can bring it in. You saw the man who asked questions as to how are we bringing in the private sector players. And he gave an example of what he saw in Dar es Salaam in Tanzania. That by the time they moved from Dar es Salaam to some other communities in the hinterlands, they were able to use boats owned by private sector players. And the question is, how do you also ensure that you could have that kind of arrangement where you don't have collaboration between the government and the private sector people? So we are not only giving them information as to what we are doing and the challenges we have, we're also able to learn from what they have garnered from other areas they have been to that we may not have the time or privilege to visit. These are individuals who have also acquired knowledge in so many areas. Their knowledge is also available for not only those of us in Delta, but for the entire country. And so that is why by the time they finish, as a study group, they come together, they put up a report which is aimed at helping the Nigerian nation in terms of our planning. So when you talk about policy and strategic studies, it means that you strategically study this whole arrangement across the length and breadth of this country, put a report together that will now inform what kind of policy that you will advise government to put in place. So it's something that is very, very critical. It's something that helps us. It's something that is not just for their own interests, it's in the interest of the country. And so at the end of the day, when they are done with this kind of different talk across different spectrum and across different society, they are able to put it together for the purpose of advancing growth in our society.
Meanwhile, the leader of the Course 47 team, DIG Adeleye Oyebade, MNL, commended the Delta State government for establishing the Ogeye floating market and urged the state to attract more investments in the blue economy by leveraging on its rich Atlantic coastline resources.
We are here in Delta State in continuation of our research work given to us by Mr. President. So we are here to go and get the details from the government and the people of Delta State on the way forward, touching on the sustainability of the blue economy in Nigeria. Mind you, Delta State is a coastline state, and so we've gone out to African and on intercontinental tour to see what is happening. So we have the mandate of Mr. President to submit our report by December. So that's why we are here to look at the issues, the challenges, and the opportunities that they can derive from the blue economy, because the government is trying to move away from overdependence on oil. So it's a good way for us to find out what they are doing here to key into the blue economy space, and as directed and provided by the new blue economy ministry created by the present administration.
Our correspondent Charles Kosipri reports that strategies are being put in place for greater national coordination and proposed the designation of Delta State as a pilot of Blue Corridor beginning in 2026 to test integrated blue economy initiatives.